All right, guys, welcome back into Netolic Pro League 4th edition for this match of Speed Gaming, formerly Rattlesnake International versus Team Dignitas. Radiant side Speed Gaming, Dignitas on the Dire. My name is Ever, joined alongside by ProveAttitude, and we got Barry on the stats today.
Been a great day so far. EG took it 2-1 against Live, so they're moving on. Live is out of this cup for this week, but they still have plenty of chances to get up those points to be able to win $1,000 in the next cups, that is, and then have enough points to see if they can play in the playoffs. So huge league. It's going on for about the span of a month or month and a half or so. So lots of games to be played. We still have this match to go through. It is a best of 3 as well. And I'm not sure if we have a date yet on the next match. Empire versus somebody. I can't remember who they're versing, but we haven't had a date set for that one yet. So this might be... Okay, yeah.
You keep forgetting VP's name consistently.
I should just get flamed for that. Yeah, seriously. I'm sure they're not very happy with me right now because every time I mention like the team list, VP always escapes my mind. I'm sorry, guys. I love you. Really, I do. But yeah, so haven't had a date set for that yet. So this might just be the last match for today. But 3 games coming up. They're going to be awesome. Dignitas versus Speed Gaming. The bands are coming out. Elder Titan, Batrider out courtesy of Dignitas, and Siren and Io out from Speed. Troll Warlord, he's going to get some action this game, Ever.
Finally doesn't get banned on through, and it's as Fogged was mentioning in that small little interview segment we did. ET, he was expecting to get banned, showed up the first 2 games, and it was Troll who got taken out instead. And it put teams in kind of a fit until EG could figure out the formula to put Team Life down for round 1 of this week's Cup. Next week's will be coming up as soon as, like Prove mentioned, we can kind of get through the playoffs and actually have VP as well as Empire play themselves on through. But Speed Gaming in their first match under this name goes with Troll Warlord. We'll see if they go for the Spirit Breaker pickup as they've trademarked. They're the all-knowing ones when it comes to pub strategies, as quoted by Light of Heaven. I don't know if he intended to be that harsh, but really... The bash with the Troll ultimate is insane between the two. Really good lineup. Darkseer and Razor for Dignitas immediately. Even though OD is in the pool, Dignitas possibly warning that if Speed picks it up, it's going to be a Razor counter on that mid lane.
I'm excited to see how Dignitas plays with kind of their roster reform. 1437 previously on LGD Int. Infinity, a player that you guys might know a little bit. He's kind of just been in the scene of North America for a while. He hasn't officially really broken into the large competitive scene yet, but now he is. He's on Dignitas. He's an incredibly strong player, so keep an eye out for him. He's got some really big plays under his belt. So excited to see how Dignitas does. 1437 is going to be the captain of this team, and Speed Gaming, they've gone under a few different names for the past, couple months, but it's been basically the same roster, other than Sing Sing and Owie kind of coming into play. So we'll see how they do, but they've had a pretty good run so far.
And now Clockwork is the immediate pickup. Regardless whether or not he's in the mid lane or the Troll takes that slot. Really good hero to have on your side. Great harassment through the cogs early game. Doesn't really matter who you go up against in order to put that to use. Good hook shot utility. Later stages of the game allows you a lot of options. Good synergies with just about anyone he plays with, really. Causing disruption on the other team while synergizing well with others. You could even do something like a Lifestealer bomb. In this instance, I do not think we'll see that, but it's worth mentioning. As we go into the second half of bans here, Timbersaw taken out by Speed Gaming. Response forthcoming from Dignitas, possibly going to be in the way of support. See if they pull out some of those jungle heroes, as it looks like Speed Gaming has a carry option on the board as well as either a mid or an off lane.
I'm excited to see the kind of shift up from the previous game to this game. We didn't see Razor at all. We didn't see a Troll Warlord at all. So it's going to be very exciting to cast these games. Razor is very effective with that static link to minus the damage of anybody. Whether they're BKB'd or not, it doesn't matter. Razor is going to be able to steal your damage. On top of that, his Plasma Field, great. His ultimate, great for taking down towers, great for pushing, great for, killing heroes. So Darkseer for Dignitas, it's hard to push up into a Darkseer. He excels very well in that off lane, can really just keep himself safe with the surge available. And the Ion Shell is going to burst down, or not really burst, but slowly fade away
Burst
HP. Yeah,
out.
it's not gonna burst, but it's gonna slowly
It just
fade away the
pops
HP.
like a phonic shield.
Yeah,
No big deal.
it goes on. You do
Yeah.
like the instant 300 damage all right off the bat. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it works. I think it takes him a bit to get going in terms of experience anymore when pressure is applied. I'm excited to see if Korok is indeed on the mid lane, that Razor will be picked up by Steven. Really solid, sound mid player. I was looking up before the International 3 some statistics on players, and it was actually, I believe, Korok who came up with the most middle heroes played in competitive. So the most diverse hero pool goes to, I believe, between him and Fluff, which were on the same team, funny enough. And that's why I actually picked him to play the most heroes, but it was Orange who played the most heroes. So I was a little bit biased towards some North American Dota, and I think there's some right there. And there's a support ban. Took him a while to get there, but the Visaged Familiars are kind of absurd. OD finally makes his way out of the pool, not wanting to yield that back to Dignitas. Would be a potentially fatal mistake, as we know Korok can definitely play that to a T. And Enchantress, the final ban out of there.
Dignitas, they take out a jungler, they pick up their own jungler. Chin is great. You know, he's in the woods, he has a lot of versatility, and whether he wants to pick up creeps to be able to gank the lane, or whether he wants to pick up creeps to be able to push the lane, and he's effective throughout all the game, because those creeps are always going to have a presence in the team fights. And then you have the Hand of God, which is going to keep people alive. Weaver, no stranger to this tournament so far, picked up once again, this time for Speed Gaming. And Dignitas, they're going to go ahead and go with the Bane, and Bane is great, providing that lockdown on top of Weaver so that he can't time-lapse or Shikuchi. So really good pickup on that Bane once again. On top of that, you're going to be minusing that damage once again with the Enfeeble. So 2 ways to take away the damage already from Dignitas. And there's that Crystal Maiden pickup. Seen her a few times.
That indeed we have. Hasn't won a game that we've cast so far, but certainly provides utility in that AoE slow as well as damage early on stages of the game. Provided first blood for life last match between EG and still wasn't able to kind of patch some things through. Bane gets grabbed, could potentially shut down the Troll, who will almost surely go BKB no matter what build he opts into. Might give Weaver a chance to shine, more or less. Heroes in the cogs, it's a really good combination, as I was mentioning earlier. Clockwork plays nice with many other heroes, and the Enigma is the ban out of Dignitas. Clockwork's job, realistically, is going to be to shut down Bane. This is the first Chen that we've seen. He was banned out a couple of times, because the last time around we had some reputable Chen players.
That is true. You know, I feel like Dignitas has done a good job thus far to counter that Troll Warlord. He went through the banning phase unscratched, and then Speed Gaming was like, oh, Troll's available, let's definitely pick him up. But now you have 5 bans after that Dignitas can take advantage of. And Razor, I already mentioned about him being effective with the static link, but once Troll gets BKB, doesn't even matter, because that ultimate is going to be able to continue to deal that physical damage to Troll. Bane's ultimate is even going to be able to go through that BKB to be able to disable him at least. It's not going to damage him, but it will disable him. So they have a lot already from Dignitas to deal with Troll, but he's Troll. Come on, he's strong. It's going to help Weaver out to be able to get in there and deal lots of damage. Not only does he have that Germinate attack, but he's going to be able to get even more attacks off now with that Troll ultimate. Nakes, going to get picked up for Dignitas.
We mentioned Lifestealer a bit earlier. I think it's going to be all right here. We don't have as many bomb situations as I would like to see. There's no Puck to kind of shore things up. I guess a Darkseer Surge on a Razor is the best we're going to get in terms of initiation. Razor is a relatively tanky hero once he gets going, and he's not always the primary target, although Static Link is very disruptive and detrimental if left unchecked. It's not the most threatening thing in the world if you shut it down early. We just don't want to see teams again get to a point where we get Ags, Refresher, and start causing epileptic seizures, if I can speak proper, by bulldozing bases. The Lightning is just too much damage for anyone to tank through, and really, he just provides a threat that needs to be handled, and Darkseer is going to bundle everyone up. So we'll see exactly how Dignitas lineup does. Speed Gaming still in need of one additional support before we get the ball rolling here, and we'll see exactly how lanes pan out. A lot of options. Clockwork potentially to the off lane. Weaver can go off lane with Clockwork mid. They could do an aggressive tri-lane. Troll could go middle. So I I guess we'll have to wait and see exactly how they would like to position themselves. More than likely going to be responsive to how Dignitas is going to be laning. We already know that it's going to be a safe lane. I think that's almost proper to say, with Bane Elemental and Chen out of the top jungle, with Lifestealer farming out. Darkseer then starts out in jungle, goes off lane at level 3 to 5.
So I'm curious to see how this troll is going to get leveled up, because Eternal Envy, he does like to get stats on troll after he levels up the rolling axes and gets one in all of the other points. So I'm curious to see how he's going to go ahead with these skill points. But Earthshaker is going to be the last pickup. Earthshaker is not a hero that we see very often, but he definitely controls the flow of these team fights, and he's decent early on. If you can get a block off on a hero, it can be very detrimental to a lane.
I think that it just is going to be hard to take a team fight from Dignitas' perspective, knowing that you have so many Chen creeps. They're going to have to rely on a lot of creeps kind of getting repositioned, I suppose. And really just pray for the best. Hope that Lifestealer doesn't get locked down before. So they also afford you the opportunity to long range initiate with that block in Fisher. So once they get Fisher up and rolling, if he's got a good start and can get an early blink, look to see a lot of team fights just go awry for Dignitas. But that is all conjecture as we head into game one. Hopefully teams picking up heroes here shortly. Get down to some introductions for Speed Gaming. Pylai Dai taking up that Earthshaker. EE Sama on the Weaver. Sing Sing Troll Warlord. Aoi 2000 on Crystal Maiden. And Bone 7 on his trademark Clockwork.
On the Radiant, or sorry, dang it, I messed up my intro. Fire me, I'm done.
Fired.
Dignitas on the dire side. BDiz is going to be on the Bane Infinity, playing the Darkseer 1437 on the Chin Jungle. Razor is going to get picked up here by Kurok, and Clairvoyance is going to be on your Lifestealer. Everybody kind of starting to move towards their lanes a little bit. You see the top lane kind of starting to form, mid lane going there. Chin, he's going to hang out in the woods, does have some sentry wards available to him, so that just signals that we could possibly see that Weaver getting picked off here early with those sentries, if that's an available option for them. Also great for dewarding early on. We already see some wards coming up from Speed Gaming. One here, that's going to protect the mid lane from any rotations that come to the top lane, or from the top lane rather. Yeah, no items. Interesting. He's got to feel pretty safe on this lane. I mean, what's he going up against? Lane creeps? It's not threatening, so he probably doesn't really need anything. Without the items, he's going to be just fine.
Sorry, I was trying to handle the out of control chat there for
when
a
you
second.
get up to like 4,000, it's insane.
Barry, you're on mod duty, sir. I'm gonna focus up this game.
It's alright. Let people have fun. Let the trolling go on.
I guess, yeah, no, it's sorry. Any game that you get Eternal Envy in, I'm pretty sure is just going to be flooded with it. So whatever. What will come. Sing 2 on the mid lane. BDiz going to help out Korok a little bit at the get-go with an Enfeeble. Really common build that we've kind of seen out of Banes, knowing that many kill opportunities won't necessarily come early from a situation like lining up Nightmare. And AUI just kind of walks over through.
Trotting on through.
Frostbite, throws down some autos, and just walks off casually as if nothing has happened.
That's a swagger walk right there. Just 0 carries given, walking up against 2 heroes. It doesn't matter, he's fine. He has haste, he's going to be alright. Bottom lane, EE is just going to have the time of his life down here. And we mentioned about Weaver earlier on, about it being hit or miss. And this game, it looks like it's going to be hit so far. With that lane being completely open, he's going to be able to get that solo experience, which is great. And he's going to be able to get that farm up as well. Mid lane, Kurok might have a little bit of a difficult time. With those axes getting spammed, he's going to be missing on some of these attacks. And that might just minus his creep score a little bit. Luckily for him, he does minus the attack of Sing Sing as well. So it might just even out, pan out there. But look at the harassment going down. Sing Sing might just actually have a go. But immediately, Static Link is popped. It's going to scare him off. Kurok backing up, though. He still has plenty of regen to stay in this lane.
Sing Sing feeling comfortable. Able to deal a lot of damage early. Bone 7, trapping in Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance doesn't care, just continues to farm nonetheless. But that honestly was a really good rotation out of Sing 2. Just able to kind of slow right into another set of whirling axes. Ate up a lot of his mana, but hey, the static link immediately following was panicked out of Korok and only got 7 damage this time around. A lot more successful, gonna go all the way up in the 70s. Breaks before we can get one final tick off of that. And the courier arrives with boots instead of a bottle.
Kurok, he seems fine in this lane. He's got that plus damage to creep with, and eventually Sing Sing is going to run out of mana. Already he can only do 2 more of his rolling axes, so the miss chance isn't going to be a huge factor for Kurok. But Kurok, he's got range on him, he's going to be able to static link, and he's going to be able to keep creeping. But so far, it is dead even in this middle lane, 9-9. So no advantage going to either so far. Beatiz in 1437, doing great in the jungle, pulling both the camps. Chins, he's got some creeps of his own, also has some illusions, picking up that illusion rune. So really good effort on their part so far. Aoi kind of hanging out in the jungle, frostbiting creeps because it does last a really long time on them. So she's getting some experience on herself on that Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, good call out there from the international casters. Weaver not missing a single last hit right now. And Midas recipe has indeed been purchased. So he's going to go a full-on farm build, and we'll see exactly what Envy can do. 22 last hits deep into this game. Kind of an absurd start for him. Has enough then in one more creep kill to finish up that Midas rotation. Coming over, Beatiz will indeed find Bone 7 out. Will he be able to walk away from this? Just needs a good cogs. They got a lot of damage starting out on him. Not able to do anything yet. Has nothing in a battery assault. 2 into the rocket flare. Traps 1437 away from his teammate. But you have to imagine, unless they get an additional rotation out of Sing Sing, there will be no follow-up, and there isn't. So Sing Sing stays on the middle, throws up some axes, and that's it. But 3-minute 30-second Midas again, as pointed out by these international casters, know exactly what's up. This is a scary amount of farm right now from Envy, and they're gonna have to make it up by way of clairvoyance. He's not doing too bad for himself. He's got 27 last hits, but he elected to go boots instead of directly into a Midas of his own. And actually will go into phase, so we'll see if we see a similar race car build to what EG just pulled off. And Clairvoyant's looking around the tower, seeing if he could have a go on Bone 7, but it's just not going to happen at his current health total.
Weaver might just spiral out of control this game. 32 CS already. With that hand of Midas, it's just going to go up more and more. And actually missing first blood on the top lane. I did not expect that.
ProveAttitude. Yeah, no, Clairvoyant's able to get hold right on top of the tower. Bone 7 overextending, tried to cogs him away, but instead he ends up right in the middle of the fray.
Tough break there, giving Lifestealer that solo experience on the kill. Very, very effective. Weaver just 200 ahead of Lifestealer at this point. Looks like things are going to happen in the mid lane. Fissure block, Frost Nova. Kurok does not stand a chance here. Sing Sing going to pick up that kill, making the score even up here 1-1. Mid tower going to take a beating. Not going to fall just yet. Now bottom lane, Infinity has officially moved down here to start dealing with Eternal Envy, but can he actually do anything as Envy is already getting on up there and farm top lane? Diving deep past the tier 1. Luckily, Pylai Dai is here, and Bone 7 might just have to get in there and help out. Otherwise, Pylai Dai is in some trouble here. Gets netted out from the Chin creep. Chin caught into the cogs, so 1437 gonna try and make it out alive. He does have support, a lot of support nearby. Sleep is going to go ahead and be applied to Clockwork. He's not gonna be able to finish off Chin. Dignitas backing up. They got their kill. They're happy.
Good body blocking there from Beatiz to actually secure that kill, catch up Clairvoyance and company to the opportunity. They had a troll, but realistically didn't even need it. Bone 7 not able to lock down 1437 enough to kill. Has some damage, and now Eternal Envy gets sniped out. Infinity just manning up and getting a kill, and that will shut down the EE farm spree a little bit early. Still going to be on a roll as he's kind of avalanching, so regardless of that death, still a 1.1k lead here.
Regen bottled up for Kurok. This is going to help him stay in the lane a lot easier. Looks like Troll, where is he? He was in the jungle for a little bit, looking on the bottom rune, most likely as well. But he also has a bottle, so he's going to be able to stay in the lane pretty effectively. Bottom lane, Affinity is going to have to back up. The support's coming back in the form of Pylai Dai, so Pylai Dai allowing Eternal Envy that room to farm because that death set him back a little bit, but not much. The Nakes and the Weaver are dead even in terms of the gold creep score, but net worth, you do see that solo kill on Clairvoyance starting to come into play. 3,200 in regards to that, 3,100 on the Weaver.
A little bit of a group up here on the mid lane. B-Diz has been roaming around to go ahead and support Korok. Korok's not doing too bad at all. Static Link flies up, will manage to grab good amount of damage, 42. So Sing Sing is down for just a bit. Rotation out. Earthshaker trying to line some up. Good block yet again. Highlight Dies blocks from this Fissure have been on all game, and they're not going to be able to catch up to the Crystal Maiden. So no kill forthcoming, and the smoke up does occur. Meanwhile, top lane, Bone 7 yet again picked off by Clairvoyance, who's having a monster of a game right now.
He really
and
is.
Hasn't it normally been Clairvoyance who's actually been the one, I believe, for Take 5 ringing and playing off-lane clock?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I guess he knows how to deal with it. When you play that role, you kind of feel what's good against you, and that's kind of the case here, that you wouldn't really expect Nakes to be able to get a solo kill on Clockwork just because he can cog up if the gank comes down. And now, bottom river, we have Beta is caught out of position. Fidget goes up, and Sing Sing is just going to pound down on top of him. There's no way that Beta can make it out of here alive. He does have Brain Sap available, but it's only level 1. A few more right clicks from Sing Sing will do it. The slow is applied from the axes, and now, in the backfield, Croc going in, already managing to do some damage to Owie, but Sing Sing, he's there to help out. His damage is getting minused out. The Nova goes down on Croc. Sing Sing Owie trying to TP out. Kurok is not going to allow that though. Bottom lane, looks like something's going on down there as well. Infinity first, Eternal Envy. Eternal Envy does not want the same story to happen with Infinity picking him off. Infinity taking a lot of right clicks, time-lapsing back out of danger, but now Pylai Dai is there, gets off the fissure, but it's not enough damage to be able to secure that kill.
I'm surprised Envy didn't go. Maybe he thought he was out of range. I certainly thought that Pylai Dai was out of range to line up that Fissure, but it looks like he was indeed in just enough, stuns away, and Envy not thinking that along the same lines, not able to secure that kill, but that's all right. Buys him more free time and space to farm up, going towards LS, presumably, and won't opt into boots. Doesn't really need it with the ability of mobilization through Shikuchi. And now, Infinity will make his way back over to bottom. It's a really decent storyline evolving between the two. Although Envy is getting farmed, that one single shutdown really caused a lot of damage to Envy's spiraling out of control. So really good recognition, I suppose, from Dignitas that it was going to happen that way.
Crystal Maiden and Bane sitting at level 4, so no ultimates yet available to those two heroes. Eternal Envy on the bottom lane, sitting 5k behind Nakes. It's a good thing that he picked up that Hand to Midas because he's definitely going to need it to be able to keep up with Nakes, who has secured those 2 kills on the top lane. Weaver died once, so it did set him back a little bit, and he didn't have those kills allotted to him like the Nakes did. So, going to have to make up a little bit there. Mid lane, getting taken down to below half HP on this tower. Sing Sing doing a great job. Kurok's back in the lane, has double damage too, but there's a lot of enemies nearby, and he's going to have to be careful not to overextend. And now bottom lane, Hand of Goddess Pop trying to help Infinity out. Infinity with the cogs, or sorry, rather Bone 7 with the cogs, but he can't make it out of here alive. Clairvoyance is hot on top of him. He has just made it his plan all game to pick on Bone 7, and it's working out so far. 3 kills for the Nakes, 3 deaths for the Clockwork.
Sing Sing in trouble. Korok able to get the jump on him. Pour it out. It will be in time. And now Korok takes good advantage of that mid lane. I think he expected a kill in popping Eye of the Storm. Doesn't matter. They're able to save the pressure off of the middle tower and possibly apply some of their own here. Korok has about 112 in terms of damage pulling away. And look at the siege he's able to lay through here. Chen creeps come in. Siege begins. AoE flying up. Fortification finally pops out. A little bit late. Takes out about anywhere between a 4th and a 3rd. However you really want to look at it, and I'm not going to do the math on that one. But you're right, Clairvoyance is really making it hard for Bone 7, and this race car build is not going to make it any easier. If his cogs are down like they were there, he's going to get killed nearly every single time. Crystal Maiden trying to farm the jungle, has Lifestealer close by. I think both of them are unaware of each other at present. 1437 coming around the corner. We'll see exactly what's going on now. And looks like Crystal Maiden going to need to back up 1437 Dignitas and company all moving through, so the tri-lane has migrated towards bot side. Envy, target of interest right now. See exactly how he chooses to get out of this. Does have time lapse at the ready, but can't take much more damage before it nearly becoming irrelevant. As Infinity throws up another ion shell, all four now making their way in. Envy recognizes this, and he's hiding away in the trees. Ultimate up from the troll, laying siege to mid tower in the meantime. We'll keep an eye on Envy to see if anything comes of that. Meanwhile, Korok's gonna try and throw up a little bit of a defense, but it's all gonna be for naught. Envy moves over to the outpost, potentially to just buy a scroll and move away.
If they had scattered him out down there, it would have been very difficult for him to get out of that. You have sentries on Infinity, so the vision would have been there. Time-lapse might have saved him, but there was a lot of quick damage output there from Dignitas, and I think he would have been in a very bad situation. And now he's still trying to get out of here. Luckily, Sing Sing is nearby to help out in that regard, but there's still 4 heroes from Dignitas down here. Any which way you spin it, Pylite Die looking to make his way over here to help out Envy as well as Sing, but they're all going to back up, not really willing to fight against Clairvoyance at this point because he is such a powerhouse with the huge net worth, 6,200. But look at Weaver, catching up only 2k behind, so not doing too shabby.
No, not at all. He's really having a decent game. That Midas is going to allow him to harass the Chen creeps like we just saw there, so he traded out a Catman, converted it into gold, and actually ended up staying in the lane. I was going to note he buys boots very early instead, recognizes that they want to shut his farm down, will have to go a bit of a safer build than as greedy as he was going, but nonetheless, his GPM this early on at 426 is not half bad. Neither is Clairvoyance, and Clairvoyance has obtained much of that through his 3 kills, 4 in total if you include his assist that he's been involved with, and because of that, you do see the experience lead headed towards the Dignitas side. They're up 6-3. It's marginal, though, at best, and it's really going to depend on what these team fights look like, how much someone like Pylite Die can influence the early team fight with an ultimate that he has in the Echo Slam, because its value, I want to say it diminishes during the middle of the game, not because it's bad by any stretch of the imagination, but because he's going to need some items to make it fully, I don't know, to test it to its full capability is probably the best way to put it. He has to have a blink to initiate and really get a good ultimate off, and he doesn't necessarily get that through the middle of the game if he gets shut down. So normally you'll see its effectiveness kind of ramp back up if we do get into a late game scenario, to the tune of 5-man wipes in some instances, as we've seen from past play. It's been a long time since we've seen that level of Earthshaker played, though.
Bottom lane, Bo 7 hook shot to Eternal Envy, but behind him is going to be the rest of the enemies. Pylite Die and Owie there to escape off, and now Clairvoyance getting in. Pylite Die is going to get beaten down here. Does he have any assist? He does. Beat is coming in. Fiend's grip onto Owie. Owie's going to get taken out here. That should be the end of this fight, though. 2 for 1. You take out 2 supports for a Darkseer. Not a bad trade.
I just like how EE recognizes, like, oh, I can't do anything to this lifestealer, can I? It just walks off. Yeah, he just walked away. He's like, well, that was a Geminated attack and that did nothing, so I'm gonna go this way, guys. Like, good luck. This has not been the best of engagements for us. I regret my decisions. However, Darkseer does get picked off, and that's fine. Both carries pick up kills on some supports. I think the Darkseer is more valuable than is an Earthshaker and a Crystal Maiden, but it's up in the air for debate as scores go 8-4. Was 2 for 1 at the end of the day, and Dignitas seems to have the ball rolling. They just need to kind of grab Korok and start team fighting away from Earthshaker ultimates, and they should be good to go.
We haven't seen Troll participating too much other than that ultimate. He's been farming, which he's not doing a terrible job at so far, sitting at 6,400 gold. But we haven't seen him in too many of the fights. He has been in a little bit, but kind of the same story for Korok. They've both just been farming, and so once we see these 2 heroes get into the action, we might see the sway of these team fights rotate a little bit more in the favor of speed gaming. But so far, Dignitas is taking the lead early on in this game. Look at all the chin creeps here, but it doesn't matter. Behind the scenes, it's going to be Lifestealer, and Clairvoyance is just wrecking havoc this game. Sing looking to help defend this mid tower, But can they? Look at all the chin creeps. Look at Clairvoyance. This is a huge push coming down, and I don't know if Speed Gaming is going to be able to defend it at this point of the match. There goes Clairvoyance getting surged in. Kurok in the backfield looking to cut off the escape. Bone 7 with the cogs. Very nice effort on his part. Everybody gets out just fine, but the tower is going to be sacrificed here.
Tower under a lot of duress. Infinity porting away, seeing if he can stop what EE is doing. Sing Sing kind of looks to initiate on something, slows up, but actually just gets a good block from Pylai Dai to save his life, cutting off Dignitas from joining into that rush on him. Courier snipe out of EE. Really well played right there. Checking to see if anyone is on his 6 with that wave and moving away. I don't know how I feel about this phase boot pickup on Weaver. He's already so quick with Shikuchi that you imagine that are treads outright better?
You would think so, because it does give him a little more HP and it's going to up his attack damage. I feel like by getting phase, you are a little bit weaker, but I guess he feels pretty confident because that Lincoln Sphere will be finished up here pretty shortly, and that will give him the tank up he needs. But I agree with you. I feel like he doesn't really need that mobility.
It seems excessive when you're already at the max move speed, but to each their own. Maybe it was just because he wanted to ramp up damage. That's the only thing I can imagine, unless I'm missing something blatant here. It's just got to be damage oriented. Other than that, Sing Sing not able to take fights this early on is going to be rough on the team, and instead of going a higher form of Life Leech, he opts into Vlad, so more support oriented, will provide a greater damage presence for Speed Gaming, and Speed actually in a lot of trouble here, forced to pop the ultimate out. I don't know if this is going to work out, and actually it barely works out for him on this Ancient Camp, who was kind of eating through poor Sing Sing. Some timely bashes, make sure that it's a non-factor, a little bit of support there, moral or something of the sort from the Crystal Maiden. Not doing much in terms of right clicks, but Sing Sing, my point is this, is that Whirling Axe is a decent farm mechanism, but as the game progresses, it gets much weaker, and you need to take fights on him. That's what the hero is designed to do. But we'll leave it up to Speed Gaming, who kind of pioneered him out into this meta, more or less, with things like that Spirit Breaker combination to see exactly how effective it is. And I have to say, I enjoy watching the synergy between the Weaver, because the Weaver is all really single target right click damage that he deals, and if it is expedited, how much can he get down in terms of heroes, especially thrown up disruption from Bone 7, who now has a Force Staff finished up and is able to kind of engage and de-initiate at his desire. Roshan attempt from Dignitas. We'll see if the squad of Speed Gaming is willing to contest this. Already half health, nothing going on yet. This could turn into a bad situation for either squad.
I don't think they can. I think Dignitas is so far ahead at this point that if you engage on a fight outside of your base in a Roshan pit, I don't think it's going to end well for you. And it doesn't look like Speed Gaming wanted to make any attempts to do that. They knew it was going on. The Rocket was scouting them out. But they get a tower.
I kind of got to call you out on that one, because I mean, ahead by what measure? The graphs show a really even game. Maybe the way the heroes kind of utilize their experience, I suppose? Is that what you were implying?
It's just how do they deal with Clairvoyance at this point? You can't have the Earthshaker blink in yet to kind of start the fight off, so the initiation isn't strong. Troll, he's going to have to rely on bashes to really go up against that Naix, and that's just a lot of chance right there. You took a much safer route by taking the tier 1 tower and letting them have that Roshan. If you had engaged on that fight and you lost that fight, tier 2 towers would have fallen, and that's just a lot more gold going the way of Dignitas. So I just felt like it was a very risky situation if they had done that. But now 14-7 gets hookshotted by Bone 7. He's not going to make it out of this alive. Doesn't even bother to pop the Hand of God. He knows he's dead.
Alright, and now Crystal Maiden picks up that last hit. EE still farming up, finished up LS. Troll finishes up Yasha, going to increase his mobility as well as his attack speed even more, and that is an imminent threat pending. If they could get Sing Sing into this game, you have to imagine that the stronger side lies on Speed Gaming. They have 2 cores to shore this up, and Darkseer, while being effective in terms of damage, I don't think is as effective there. Earthshaker ultimate right on top of Clairvoyance. Thought he might be able to shut him down from that avatar, but wasn't quite able to, and now Sing Sing's in a lot of trouble. It's just going to try to port out, get stunned away, and they will pick up a double kill onto Clairvoyance, and that's not the situation they wanted to see. If they had lined that up correctly with Pylai Dai, it would have evolved so much differently. I have to imagine Lifestealer would have just gotten torn away and running with the rage instead of fighting. Well-timed bash secures the second kill on Sing.
Yeah, bashing out on that TP did not allow Sing Sing to get out of that one. So Clairvoyance getting on up there still once again. 7-0 is his personal score, 129 CS. The graphs are starting to help Weaver out now, though, as we see Weaver taking over Nakes at this point. Been farming up a lot and has only died once, so it's not like Weaver is doing bad or anything this game. It's just that Clairvoyance has had so much attention on him this game. He's been getting the experience in gold. But Weaver's been getting the experience in gold in a different way, and in the end, it all pans out. Weaver does still have that hand of Midas to continue getting him that experience and gold, so I think it will still work out. Speed Gaming by any means isn't out of this or anything. It's actually a very close game, despite it looking like Dignitas might be in the lead from the 11-5. But like you said, the gold graphs and the XP graphs are pretty dead even at this point. So still anybody's game. You still have to deal with that troll and with that Weaver as these games get later. Yes, Clairvoyance is strong right now, but when you see the troll catch up and when you see the Weaver start catching up, then things are going to start getting in motion. Top lane, smoke goes up. Hold on, it looks like Kurok might just get caught out. There goes the hook shot. Bone7 once again with the great hook shots. Pilot dive blinking in there. Kurok's down, and I will pass it over to you now.
Yeah, fine. I don't want to take the hook shot anyways, jerk.
I'm sorry. I've taken all the hook shots.
Who do you think you are, ProveAttitude?
I don't know.
Anyways, no, I was gonna say Razor is a good core as the game progresses into the late stages. He's able to bulldoze entire bases and will indeed go towards that build. Has the Ags at this 20-minute marker and then some. So he's providing a lot of utility in these team fights, but later the game goes on. Yes, he will be more reminiscent of a core. I know I got caught up talking about Darkseer, but Darkseer for the middle, Razor for the end was my implication there. I hope it was easy to follow along. It's going to be hard for Sing Sing to actually sit in and take this damage is my only lead concern for the Speed Gaming squad. They just need to have a good start to the team fight, not have Clairvoyance eat through Sing Sing, and really just buy as much space for EE to farm. So as long as they can get the troll possibly killing one person and just walking away, they've come up with a huge victory. Doesn't matter what else happens in the fight. Even if he dies at that stage, EE should have a fight handily if that were the case. So they're going to need to watch out for picks. And now Clairvoyance pushed forward. Sing Sing pushed away as well, trying to get off. Cogs put up by Bone7. Stave off the kill attempt from Dignitas behind the tier 2, nearly in tier 3 land. On that mid lane, almost going to the hill, and Dignitas continues to pressure this middle. EE nowhere to be found just yet. Does he have a port on his person? He does indeed. So carrying a TP, stun comes out, Infinity already thrown down to half health, and fortification is popped. They want to defend this while the split push does occur. Weaver is able to do a split push as the tower drops down to half. Clairvoyance taking a few shots from those cogs. I'm sure he didn't expect. So tier 2 for tier 2 is what they want to do. They're going to get it in a second, but EE going to have to run away, and actually fortification narrowly in time. 35 HP and throws up the Gemini. Still gets denied by Infinity. Good pull there right in between the second Gemini shot.
Back to mid lane.
Nice.
Alright, I guess he's going to be fine. Infestin. Open wounds. Alright. Yeah, he's alright. No worries. Send back. He's gonna be fine.
No, it's alright. That's all I was really gonna say anyways. It just seems, although Dignitas is up on the kill board, it's very hard for them to kind of deal with some of what's going on. EE is gonna be able to split push through. He now has Desolator, and the damage is all there. They need to fight at this stage or find a good pick. Any of the above. But they should be ready in terms of items. I don't imagine them grabbing much more. And Troll is going to go for the Manta style, 400G. They'll possibly wait on that. Roshan up in about 4 minutes as well. So once those two things happen, we're going to have a lot of action just non-stop from here until the end, I have to imagine.
Yeah, very close game so far. 26 minutes in, and the gold graphs and XP graphs are practically dead even. So very close all around. The Roshan attempt there didn't, or not attempt, but rather the Roshan kill didn't really have a huge play. You know, Lifestealer didn't particularly need it. So they might just wait for that Roshan to come up again, give them even more of an advantage in these fights. But Speed Gaming, they're starting to make a comeback in this game. Weaver split pushing like a boss, has the Desolator, so these towers are going to drop a lot easier. In top lane, Owie ate out way too far for support, and Infinity is gonna take advantage of that. Juking around, Frostbite not available yet. There goes the Nova, slowing down Infinity a little bit. Looks like Bane is gonna loop around to try and cut off any escape, but it doesn't matter. Infinity is able to secure that. What was Owie doing out there? I'm sorry, but that was way too far for support.
I don't know. As a Crystal Maiden, it just, maybe sometimes you feel invincible.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I've had those moments. I could definitely relate.
you're definitely one of the more fallible heroes in Wisp and Crystal Maiden.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe Lich, but at least Lich has some armor to fall back on.
Yeah.
Clairvoyant's gonna contest the farm right now on this bottom lane. Force EE off. EE looking to see if he can go to the jungle. Clairvoyant's looking to see if he can actually go for a kill there. Still has 2 drum charges 27 minutes into the game to see if he can make something happen, but EE doesn't care. There's no tower there for him to have, so he's just going to continue on this farm tear, have enough for buyback at the next fight. Sing Sing has his Mana Style 600 banked up, so both teams seem like they are ready to go. 4-staff mech on Darkseer, who grabs an orb. There's a lot going on in this game. 2,500 on Razor. We'll see what he hops into building. I think it'll probably be a refresher if they win this next team fight. If not, they'll probably look to readjust the strategy. But Siege is going to come down here on the tier 2 top shortly.
Speed, look to defend this. This is not going to be an easy push for Dignitas. They do not have Clairvoyance there or anywhere nearby to be able to help out with that, and rightfully so. Dignitas is going to back up. They want nothing to do with all 5 of Speed Gaming here to defend this, so not willing to go ahead and dive that tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, they're providing space for Clairvoyance. Already has the Abyssal Blade up. The bashes are there. The stun is there, even their magic immunity, so whoever, if you see the troll pick up a BKB, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be able to stun through that. So Sing Sing, he's getting his farm up, does have the Manta finally finished up, so that's going to help him quite a bit in these team fights. And everybody's just going to go back to farming. We'll see if they can get a pick off on Clairvoyance, who's up in the jungle farming down here. They have yet to spot him out just yet. But he is alone. There's no allies nearby for him, so if they spot him out here, he could just be in some trouble. Despite being a race car, he still could possibly get picked off. They don't know what's happening. They're going to go ahead and back up and not really try and go for that. Now Clairvoyance getting spotted out on the bottom lane. Smoke is up, though, Ever. They're going to sneak around. We'll see who they decide to go to. Everybody backing up for Dignitas. They smoked right on top of this observer ward, so they know what's going on. Everybody retreats to the towers.
Had it not been for that obs ward, it would have been a really good smoke for them. Really would have. It's just because Roche is within 30 seconds on the timer. The smoke's going to outlast that. They're looking to see if they can tear down mid in the process and force out a fight. But Dignitas, all the wiser now, is going to have the option to not take this. DD up on EE, not able to use it to the full potential. They found a Chen creep though, but still unable to even kill that right now. No blood will be spilled other than the tier 2 falling over in the mid lane. Roshan coming up just seconds from now. As the timer looks to expire, Razor goes into a BKB because they have not yet taken another fight, and smoke to counter from Bane. We'll see how Dignitas elects to use their time and space that they're afforded.
This has been the closest game so far of today. I mean, Clairvoyance, although he got off to a really good start, Weaver has done very well to catch up to that, and now Eternal Envy has the haste available, and Roshan is up, actually. So both teams hanging around here. They know that somebody is going to try and attempt that. Wards up from both sides, so the vision is there, and this could just be a stalemate for a little while until somebody decides to make a move.
I think Dignitas recognizes that their team fight is okay right now until they get a little bit more onto it. It's all going to be over this Roshan attempt right now. But the ward is up in the river. They know exactly what's happening. Bone 7 sending in the flare. We'll see exactly how they elect to contest this. Bone 7 is going to have a huge hook if they continue to be bunched up. No matter of moments, Roshan falling to half. EE throwing up the wave, only catching one of the mobs, so they will just pull that down. Bone 7 initiation cuts off the entire team on the staircase and pops himself out. 1437 in a world of hurt. Ultimate from Darkseer, all for not getting Speed Gaming. so hard. I'm about to say Rattlesnake every time to about half health, and now Dignitas looking to battle back. Korok immediately popping up. The BKB EE possibly looking to time-lapse, but instead Shikuchi's away, takes a little bit more in the way of damage, lays a beatdown on Korok. Korok BKB expires, stunned by Pylite Die, gets force staff forward by Infinity. Infinity trying to make something happen. Will the creep have enough damage? Last second comes through. Korok down. Infinity now in trouble. Infinity trying to get back to help the team. Vacuum in 3. Pylite Die goes down as a result. Clairvoyance down. 5-man white. Triple kill EE. Dignitas on the back foot on that one, due to a monster initiation out of Bone 7, cutting off the entire squad from participating in that fight, and they leave Roshan half health to be pillaged by the Radiant side.
The buybacks in full swing. They're getting in. The Roshan is picked up already, though, but Sing Sing taking heaps of damage. Infinity with a nice vacuum. Clairvoyant still in there trying to dish out the damage. Manages to take down Troll Warlord. Owie. Big ultimate takes out the Darkseer. Eternal Envy still in there to pick off the supports. Send back from Chin. Bane is going to live through that encounter. 2 down for 1. Owie still looking to go up against Clairvoyance, trying to get away. Force staff into a TP. Is there going to be a bash? There is not a bash. Owie gets out of here alive. Meanwhile, in the backfield, 1437 goes down to Eternal Envy, looking to go ahead and have a go on Clairvoyance. Spots him out. Clairvoyance has to pop the armlet, and Dignitas is here. There has to be a sleep. Sleep negated by the Lincoln Sphere. Clairvoyance goes down. Now Eternal Envy, he can't pop the time lapse. Luckily for him, he does have the Aegis still available to him. Is there a Fiend's Grip? There is not a Fiend's Grip. Envy, he's just gonna man up. He's gonna fight this on through. Look at Beatis taking so much damage. Kurok can't even save him very well. Eternal Envy down to 20 HP. He gets away. Oh my gosh, huge team fights. Speed Gaming proving their worth in this game.
Man, I know it's a good game, and I know it just almost got thrown out. Gonna like Nazi mod our own chat here in game because of how insane those past 2 engagements were. Just Dignitas and Speed Gaming. Like, Dignitas looked like they had it. They go for a Roshan, and they get picked off by one good hook. And the entire landscape of this game is now in the favor of Speed Gaming. Bone 7 again, huge hook shot on 1437. 1437 force staffing on through the cogs, gets pushed away and stifled on walking forward anymore, as Bone 7 is able to catch up and secure the kill. He's ramped up his game, made up for every last death that he had at the beginning, and it is scary what Sing Sing and EE can accomplish in terms of damage in such a short window. Proof.
Honestly, that hook shot in the Roshan pit was the biggest game changer. It was just absolutely insane. You trapped 2 supports in and you blocked the rest of the team off. You could not have asked for a better hook shot. You forced all the buybacks out of Dignitas, and now trying to push into the base. Looks like Bone 7, he's going to go in once again. Traps everybody in, gets out himself with the force staff, and now Darkseer down. He can't even fire off too much. The wall does go up, but it's in such a position that it's not even really going to be a factor, unfortunately. But it does make Speed Gaming back up. It's going to be hard still to push into this with Clairvoyance and Kurok alive. But they're taking these victories, and they're slowly starting to pull ahead. 16-14 is the score. 6K gold difference, 9K experience difference. So despite the even game for the past 30 minutes, we now see Speed Gaming starting to pull ahead.
First time the graph has been in their favor all game. They've not really been on the back foot per se, except for a little bit in that mid game. And now that we're entering this early stage of the late game, they are indeed able to take whatever fight they so desire. EE having his LS popped away, gets slowed up. Clairvoyance taking a lot of damage, battling his way back through. EE not able to rewind anything. Infest to get up some more health. Sing Sing cleaning up the rest. Gem down. EE right back from Aegis. Didn't care. Beat is down as well. 5-man wipe. GG called, Proof.
It's gotta be GG. What a fast pull ahead. I mean, that was in the span of like, what, 5-7 minutes? An even game, and then suddenly Speed Gaming is in it and they just take the racks. They forced Dignitas to call GG. Really great play. Clairvoyance got off to such a great start, but Speed Gaming really turned it around. Props to both teams, but Speed Gaming is going to take this game 1. There's still one more game for sure, possibly 2. Can Dignitas pull out a 3rd game out of Speed Gaming? We'll see. They've got to give it everything into this next matchup. Stick around, guys. It's not going to be long. My name is ProveAttitude here along with Ever. You can follow us on Twitter at EverXForever, and I am at ProveDota. Stick around, guys.